You are listening to the Shuttlecock podcast. My name is Aaron Rhodes. We're sponsored by the Vinyl Underground at 7th Heaven, offering new and used vinyl at 76 and Truce in Kansas City, Missouri. This week on the show, we have Alison from True Lions. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. But yeah, I guess I usually kind of just like to start with, like, what were your first, like, musical experiences, like, growing up and, like, as a kid and everything?
Yeah. All right. My first musical experiences. I started taking piano lessons in first grade. My dad is a drummer, and he made me practice. He told me I had to practice on all the days that I ate food, and it was a joke, but he meant it. And I listened to a lot of girl power pop music. My first concert was Michelle Branch in City Market.
Oh, yeah.
But I never played guitar until I was an adult. So,
What kind of, like, drum stuff was your dad doing? Was he, like, playing in bands? And
yeah, he still plays in bands. He loves prog rock. He loves King Crimson and Yes and Rush and old classic rock bands.
all the important dad stuff.
Yeah, he loves the dad bands.
Was that, like, was he, like, trying to show you a lot of that as a kid?
Yeah. I'm really lucky. Both of my parents have awesome music taste, and they exposed me to a variety of everything growing up. Classic rock and jazz and pop music, everything.
Mm. Where did you start finding the girl power pop bands and everything like
Girl
that?
power pop bands.
What does that consist of?
Well, I loved I loved the Spice Girls, and I loved ABBA. I loved anything that was femme fronted. I could see myself in, and it made me feel empowered that I could do it too.
Mm. And so what was some of the first, like, music you were playing when you were picking up drums? And
Well, I mean, so I was really exclusively playing classical piano, and then and through high school, and I played violin as well. I would go to rock shows, but I never tried to play rock and roll myself because I never had a teacher that was encouraging me. I went to Mizzou for piano performance, and they don't have, like, rock and roll on the repertoire. Yeah. So I guess as an adult, when I started learning guitar, I was learning, I don't even remember what songs I was learning first. It's probably like Weezer, to be honest.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah. 4 chords. It plays.
Yeah. You mentioned you were going to school at Mizzou for you started off doing music, the music school there, but you ended up not finishing that program.
I did. I started off doing piano performance, and I was practicing 4 hours a day, and I hated it, and I got really burnt out on music. I was never making my own, like, I was never creating anything of my own, just doing what I was told. I was accompanying an opera singer and the women's choir, and I just started hating music, so I quit. And because if it's becoming a chore and it's not fun anymore, it's not the music that I want to be a part of. So I did biochemistry, so I'm not really even using that degree. So, but I'm glad I finished. But then I started teaching, and I've been teaching ever since. Mm. And I love teaching.
Like teaching music.
Teaching music, yeah. I'd have mostly piano students, 1 guitar, and 2 violin students.
So what made you want to switch to biochemistry? Like, what made that the one to switch to after doing music?
I've always loved science. I thought I wanted to go to medical school, but I think that's not the commitment that I'm looking for. I want to change the world, and I think that rock and roll is a fun way for me to do that.
But you did it. But you ended up going to DC. You moved to DC for school.
I did.
And continued doing, like, biology stuff, right?
Yeah, I did public health. And I did a master in public health. I loved that as well. I mean, I still feel passionate about like healthcare and social justice, and was only involved in music through teaching and seeing other people like my friends perform, but then moved to Kansas City because I had a job in public health here and had done that for 2 years. True Lions started while I was having that job, and then I started playing in more bands, and I got burnt out on that job, and now I just do music full time, and it was a radical shift to choose to do something because it brings me joy. Yep. And it not necessarily pays the bills, but I think in the end I'm much happier this way.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Thanks.
And so you'd been like playing instruments and like just you'd been learning music and everything for a long time before you went off to school. Mm-hmm. But did you not have like very much kind of interaction with Kansas City's music scene before you moved away?
I did. I would go to a lot of shows. Yep. I had a lot of friends that were in bands, and I had played in a band with my girlfriends in high school, and even in DC I played fiddle in a band, but I treated it like a hobby and not I was passionate about it, but didn't really take it seriously or realize how much joy it brought me.
What were those two bands like?
That's good. In high school, our band, it was an all femme band. We didn't win Battle of the Bands, but we tried our best. In DC, that band was really short-lived because I didn't live there for very long. But, before I moved out of the KC scene, I would go to a lot of shows like the Shy Boys and like She's a Keeper. And there's some just like influential friends that empowered me to start my own band.
Yeah, kind of all of the important early 10s indie rock stuff.
Yeah, I was at those shows.
High dive shows.
Yeah, High Dive, definitely.
Awesome. And what motivated you to like start your own project and like commit so much time to it with True Lions? Because you started it like late 2018.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I had been jamming with a bunch of different women in my life, Mickey P being one of them. I wasn't trying to be a musician because I had this full-time job. I wasn't trying to start a band necessarily. I just wanted to jam with friends. And then someone called my music cute at best, and it tore me up. I just wanted to die. It felt so bad. And I realized that I needed to start an all-femme band and prove myself that I was more than cute. And so that was how Two Lions started, because there were two of us. And then right before we released our first EP, we were sent a cease and desist letter and had to change our name from Two Lions to True Lions, but I like our new name better.
I think getting pissed is one of the best ways to start a band.
Yeah, I was pissed and ready to show what I could do.
And so you and Mickey wrote the whole first EP. What's the first one called?
It's called Cute at Best, actually.
Best. Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah,
and,
to be ironic.
Yeah. So you guys wrote that all together. You had said that you took care of most of the lyrics, but all the arrangements and stuff were kind of a joint effort.
Yeah. I didn't really know how to play the guitar very well, to be honest. I had a guitar, but I wanted to learn a new instrument and find another way to love music because I enjoy piano, but I didn't want to be a piano band. I wanted to be a punk rock band, punk pop. But yeah, Mickey and I arranged those together, and she basically taught me how to play the guitar, and she picked up bass in order to play with me as well. So we were both learning and writing at the same time. It was fun.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Because since so you're playing, like, you know how to play drums, guitar now, pianos and keys, and violin. Are there any other instruments that I don't know about? I could try to play the bass. I'm familiar with most instruments, but I think I'm proficient at piano, and then everything else is like, I'll try my best. Yeah.
Yeah, I can play the melodica. I do that one at the Mardi Gras parade because you can't carry a piano in a parade, so it's nice for marching.
It's difficult to do.
Yeah.
Wait, is there an upcoming Mardi Gras parade
Yeah,
again?
it's like the last Tuesday in February. It's 6 a.m. on the west side. Everyone marches. You put on your attire, and there's lots of horns and drums, and we march to the brick. And then there's brunch and drinks, and it's my favorite gig of the year.
Oh, that'll be fun. How many times have you done that before?
I've done it twice now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else like kind of from the kind of rock scene
From the
that
scene.
kind of takes part in that?
Yeah, Fritz Hutchison and Trevor Turla, Mickey P. That's like my band crew that we march together.
Nice.
Calvin Arsinia is always there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to go down, check out Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
this
you
year.
should come march in the
I don't
parade.
think I've ever been to a proper Mardi Gras celebration.
I hadn't either, and then I did that, and then I visited New Orleans, and now I can't stop. I think I would live in New Orleans. I love it there so much.
Yeah. Were you there for Mardi Gras or?
No, but like there's just a parade there all the time,
Yeah.
and so I would love to be there for actual Mardi Gras.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to ask about all the different instruments you're playing, like, is it like, do you kind of have, I don't know how to word this, like, are you practicing like different instruments at different times to like make sure like you're kind of staying up on them and like not getting rusty on one or the other? Like, is that kind of a difficult process?
Yeah, you gotta practice. I have to practice. I definitely practice every day something. I think predominantly I practice guitar because it's my newest instrument and I want to get better at that I'm most motivated. I have to practice piano for my job teaching it, so I do that most every day. Not every day. I should though. Those are really the instruments that I practice.
Yeah, and so on the latest EP you guys put out near the end of 2019, You're Not Invited. Mm-hmm. So I like the credits on the first EP is like mostly just you and Mickey.
Yeah, it's just the two of us did everything.
No, yeah, but the credits on the new one is just kind of like a whole super group of local musicians. Like there's Leslie from Natural Man's on there.
Yeah, Leslie Bush on saxophone.
And Terry Quinn is doing some vocals on it too, right?
Yeah. I can talk more about who's on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth Costco plays drums, and she's the drummer now. Terry Quinn got to sing on the actual album, but has since started playing bass with us. Michaela left. She does kind of sit in sometimes though. So Mickey P is like in and out when she can.
It's kind of a shifting lineup.
Yeah, it's like a collective. I want it to be a collective because even though despite the title You're Not Invited, I want this band to be inclusive and femme driven, femme inspired, femme only. So yeah, Terry Quinn plays bass and sings now. Claire Adams plays guitar and sings, and she's the one who recorded it. We tracked it in her house and in her studio, and she helped produce it. And Ezgi Karakis she's in the symphony. She plays cello on it. She can't join us for any live shows, but we have Addie Dancy playing cello with us for live shows. And Leslie was able to play saxophone at our album release, but now we have Ariana Namadi on saxophone for live shows. So I feel really lucky because everyone has so many awesome, robust solo projects. Yep. And like Elizabeth on drums, she plays for the symphony. She plays for the ballet a lot. Like everyone is so professionally involved in music. I'm so lucky that they even give me time to play my pop songs.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a super collective then.
Yeah, super collective.
No, and was like the process for like writing and recording the new EP, because you said it was you and Mickey for most of the first one, but what was the writing like for, like were all these people that you said were like played on the EP like involved in the writing, or like was it mostly you just kind of doing the arrangements and stuff like that?
Yeah, I there's a team element, and also I do feel like I'm leading it. for cello and saxophone, we worked together and I encouraged them to play what they wanted, what was feasible, what sounded good. I mean, if it sounds good and they feel happy playing it, that's what I want them to play. I don't feel like it has to be a specific sound, because every live show we do is different because it's a different arrangement of people. So the live recordings were pretty special in terms of collaborating. Yeah, but I think that, I mean, I would say I'm the primary songwriter, and Michaela and I had worked on a couple of those songs before she left the band, so that's why she recorded them with us for the second album, even though she wasn't playing with us anymore.
Gotcha. No, and you guys are playing, like, all the time, yeah. Kind of, I've noticed. At least, like, over the last 6 months, it seems like it's really... picked up. Like, do you have any idea, like, how many shows you've played in, like, the last year with True Lines?
I think we played 39. At least I did. Some of the solo sets included 39 shows last year, and we've played a lot this year already. This week we have a show Friday, a Sunday morning show, and Monday and Tuesday. So we have 4 shows coming up in the next week. And, you know, some people might think, like, oh, you're going to make people burnt out on you, but the next 4 shows are all different lineups, really. It's like a duo of me and Terry, a duo of me and Elizabeth, and then there's a trio. So it's the same songs, but like sometimes we'll throw in a banjo and electric guitar, and then it's like a different song. So hopefully people don't get too tired of us.
Is it tough to practice for all the different arrangements of people?
It's tough because we don't have a lot of time, but luckily everyone is such a badass musician and knows the songs so well. It doesn't really... I'm not really worried about practicing. I mean, we practice together, but we don't have like a regular practice schedule. Like we should, like most bands meet every week, but we don't really.
No, you mentioned having a banjo with you. Like, have you done a lot of shows with banjo, or just a couple?
We did one show in New Orleans like a couple weeks ago. So Terry Quinn, her solo project, she plays banjo, and so this Friday, for example, she's playing banjo and I'm playing electric guitar on the same songs. And then she'll switch to bass whenever we have the drums again. So it's just it's a different sound and feel. But I was really inspired when we were in New Orleans because we were there for the Folk Alliance International Conference. And I've never considered myself a folk musician because I'm not really playing acoustic instruments, and I'm not like an Americana artist. But after going to the conference and seeing like how much of a big umbrella folk music is, I totally can identify with it, and I want to embrace folk as much as possible from now on and include the banjo.
Expect the banjo on the next release, maybe.
I hope so. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I was like almost like afraid to ask you guys to play the Maddie Razook show, just because I'm like, yeah, they're playing a lot. They're probably not going to want to do that. They're going to be wiped out. But I'm glad you guys are on that. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't played a show at Parker, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah, it's a cool space. Okay, just to backtrack momentarily, though, I was interested on... you kind of explained the writing dynamic between you and Mickey on the Cute at Best EP, but... I was interested because the release note said it began as an unrelated musical dispute between lovers. I was curious what...
That was like me and my partner at the time. Well, just, I wanted to create an a women's or like non-binary, trans, gender expansive empowerment band. And so like the fight came from like a heterosexual fight where like just... I think I kind of explained it earlier, like why the band started it all. So, yeah. Mickey and I are not lovers. That's not what that's referring to. But I mean, it'd be cool, but it's not what the case is.
No, and I know I think I read in the piece that Nick Spacek did for the pitch about the new EP that the new EP was also kind of inspired by an argument or a bad remark having to do with something else. So it's... were you kind of in a similar headspace writing both of the releases?
Yeah, totally.
Kind of a cathartic, emotional thing?
Yeah, I want music to be the channel for me to express my feelings. I want to write about things that everyone can relate to. I mean, calling it "You're Not Invited" sounded harsh, and like, especially coming from a woman, like women are supposed to be polite, and it's it's really, I think that we can all identify with there being a person in your life who is like hurting you and you just don't want them around anymore.
Yep.
So I don't think I'm really alone in not inviting someone.
No, yeah. um, I guess I haven't had the chance to like delve super into like and make out all the lyrics on the rest of the EP. Like, do you let yourself write like happier songs? Like, or do you think the next release might be a little less tumultuous?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
I think that I appreciate the contrast, the dichotomy between like having a bright, fun, poppy sound,
Yeah.
but talking about serious or like aggressive subject matter.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fun. So
Yes.
maybe I'll write a happy lyric song with like sad. I don't know. Maybe I'll just mix it up. But we have some songs in the batch for recording in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You've also been playing in a new band called Nervous Fit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think was the first show at Sister Anne's like back over the fall.
Yeah,
right?
we played at Sister Anne's. We had a couple more. The first show that I played with them was last February 1st. So it's my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So it was my
Cool.
29th birthday. We played at Davies Uptown, and that was fun. And we don't really play a lot. We don't really get together a lot, but I enjoy playing punk music, and it's fun playing synth.
No, yeah, is that kind of melodic punk stuff then? Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like, it's very sparkly and also like harsh at the same time.
How do you know the folks from that band?
I met them through Ben Summers. He's the guitarist. He plays in the Grizzly Hand, and I've just been a fan of the Grizzly Hand for a while and friends with them. So, yeah. This last year I was really lucky to be playing synth and keys in a lot of projects. In 2020, I'm starting to like narrow down my time because I don't have a lot of it, and I'm spending more on True Lions. But I was able to play synth and Chase the Horseman over the last year, and keys with Una Walkenhorse and with Calvin Arsenia. And so, I don't know, I feel really lucky that just to be in any bands at all feels great.
No, yeah, that's a good bunch of musicians to get to play with also, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have like upcoming shows with any of those folks or?
Yeah. Nervous Fit is playing on the 22nd. I think it's at Davies. Again, Una Walkenhorse, I'm playing with her March 21st at Knuckleheads Gospel Lounge, and then again in April at the Rhino. I think that's what I have on the calendar so far. Yeah.
No, I'm sure you'd have to
Yeah.
check your calendar as I often do. No, and you've also been involved with Bandwaggn for like about like the last year maybe. You guys been working on it?
Yeah, it actually was kind of born the same time that True Lions was born. We have been meeting every week for over a year. We haven't had our first camp yet. It will be the summer of 2020, which I'm so excited about. We've been having to spend a lot of time fundraising. It's pretty expensive to host a week-long summer camp.
Yeah.
And just like getting the venue ready, all the gear and instruments, making sure we're promoting and reaching the kids that need it the most. So it's fun. I love it.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty self-evident for anyone who like pays attention to like their local music scene maybe, but I guess I wanted to hear from you like why you felt that it's important for you to be involved and like how you first kind of got in touch with everyone working on it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's important because we just vastly have an underrepresentation problem in music scene, not just in Kansas City, but everywhere. When it comes to trans, non-binary, femme people, it starts when kids for kids. I mean, if you have a lot of privileges and you get to have lessons, or your parents can pay for them or take you to them, or you have programs in school, that definitely helps. But a lot of kids don't have that, and it's really hard to be the only girl, in a classroom of all boys playing instruments. So we wanted to create a safe, inclusive, accessible space for trans and kids to have that opportunity. And like I said, like when I was little, if you can't see someone else doing something, it's really hard to imagine yourself being able to do that. Mm-hmm. So we want to be that role model. I started getting involved with it. Leslie Bush and I worked together, and we were talking about the problem of Kansas City not having a chapter. She went to school in Lawrence, and I went to school in Columbia, where they have really awesome girls rock programs. And so we're like, well, let's get one in Kansas City. Yep. And we just started meeting at the library and asking all of our femme friends who do they know who wants to be involved in this. And then we just started organizing. And last April, I had the privilege to get to go to Philadelphia to the International Girls Rock Camp Alliance conference. And I met so many people from other cities, and I learned about how they organize their camps, and it really motivated us and gave us some tools so that we can do what they're doing too. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and you guys have had a lot of like fundraiser shows and kind of events to kind of build up to the camp. You're about to have the winter formal, but that is that like in the process of being rescheduled?
It should be rescheduled soon. Yep. I think it's going to be on Leap Day. I'm not sure though. I think we're waiting to hear from the artists to make sure it works for them. But yeah, it will be rescheduled, and it's such a bummer because the same thing happened last year. It got snowed out, so maybe we should be switching to like a spring formal so this doesn't happen again. Yeah.
No, and so what are you hoping that like will be included in like the run of the camp when it does happen this summer?
Well, we have a variety of instrument instruction that will happen in the morning. So like the kids learning guitar will break out into the guitar room, bass, drums, piano, vocals, and we'll have workshops throughout the day about healthy relationships, consent, gender identity, things that aren't really taught in school and aren't really usually associated with music. But we want music to just be the means by which we teach healthy things. And it is like a music instruction camp, but also it's more than that, because like it's not going to be like so rigorous. Like you don't have to have musical experience to be involved. We want it to be for everyone. In the afternoon, they'll break out into their bands and they'll write a song together. So we'll have like a songwriting workshop, and at the end of the week, all of the bands come out. They've made their merch, they pick their band name, and they show the song that they wrote for everyone, like the other campers and their parents, and it's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, and a lot of really cool, like of course like LK Ultra came out of the Lawrence Girls Rock program, and I'm sure people like out and playing in other groups right now have gone through that.
Yeah.
So no, it's gonna be cool to have that in Kansas City.
Yes, we want to build a new music scene, like with a new force of young women and trans people that where they're the leaders.
Definitely. And yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to get through. Is there anything else like just coming up that you're involved with that we didn't get to that you want to mention?
Wow, thanks for asking. I mean, yeah, promoting the March 13th show. We're really excited about that. And looking out for Bandwaggn, the camp that's going to be in the summer. We definitely need volunteers. So anyone that can donate gear or food or their time, or anyone who can teach an instrument, coach a band. So yeah. That's definitely what I want to promote is Bandwaggn.
Mm-hmm. No, and you guys are on all the social media. It's Bandwaggn, but 2 G's, no O.
Exactly. Yeah. WAGGN. It stands for Women and Girls Gender Nonconforming.
Awesome.
Yeah. And band like music group.
I like those.
Same.
So yeah, and the True Lions EPs are both on Bandcamp. Are they on like streaming services?
Yeah, they're on Spotify and Apple Tunes too. We'll definitely be recording again. We have 3 songs right now, so hopefully, maybe it'll be a small EP, maybe it'll be a larger album. We'll have to see what happens.
Awesome. No, and what's the is it just at True Lions on like Instagram and Facebook?
True Lions on Instagram and Facebook, and our email is truelionsmusic@gmail.com. And even though we play a lot, we love playing, so we'll take all the show offers we can. If we can get people to play, we'll play.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, people can follow at Shuttlecock Mag on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Visit shuttlecockmusic.com for all the articles. Shuttlecockmag.bigcartel.com for merch. We have new t-shirts that I'll hopefully stop procrastinating to add to the web store. And there's also zines and buttons on there. And there's a whole bunch of shows we're working on coming up, including March 13th, Maddie Razook with Chloe Jacobson, True Lions, and Black Star Kids at Parker 2. Don't miss that. Yes. And check the Facebook events tab for all of our other rock shows coming up. But yeah, I appreciate you being on the show today. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me, Aaron. This was fun.